Monday night, day after the Super Bowl. You guys said that you just wanted to talk about the Super Bowl. Specifically, you just wanted to talk about Tom Brady and nothing else at all.
Mr. America.
Great game.
Mr. America.
Next topic.
Got it out of our system.
All right, we're good.
Dude, let me just say this before we get going, because I was 3 years ago, if you would have said Peyton Manning or Tom Brady, who do you like more inside and outside of football, I would have said Tom Brady's an a-hole. Peyton Manning's like the ultimate American, the textbook guy, good guy, wears a tie everywhere, the guy that says prayer during Thanksgiving, all that stuff. And then when he won the Super Bowl last year, which is he's supposed to be all gracious and all awesome and, you know, with all his injuries and the odds being low, you'd think that there's no better way to go out than to win a Super Bowl. But I was like, screw that guy when he mentioned Papa John's like 20 times during his victory speech. To me, I was like, oh, he actually doesn't care that he just won the Super Bowl because he's got to get this out of the way. And last night when Tom Brady won and the reporter asked him, he tried to give him like a real he beat around the bush, but he was like, is this even like a better feeling because of all the stuff that's happened in the past? And he obviously meant the 4-game suspension and that whole investigation and all that stuff. Brady was like, nope, moving forward, nothing but positive things. I was like, oh man, I think I'm a fan. It was just a big deal in the way both of those two guys acted, because there's people that compare them all the time while they were both like in their peaks. If Brady's not, having like a second or third career peak, I don't know. Has he ever declined? I'll shut up now.
Well, I don't know that he's ever declined, and I don't know how you're hating so much on Papa John's and why you're
Papa John's.
Bad experience. I mean, I want to know what happened there. Maybe we need to dive deeper into that. But Brady never. I don't think he's ever declined. I mean, they showed a picture of him in, was it 2002, his first Super Bowl. Not only is he not declined, he looks exactly the same, and he's
even more handsome.
He's better looking and younger looking now. If there was any questions are over in my mind in terms of greatest quarterback of all time. Possibly the greatest NFL player of all time. I guess that's the only question that could be made at this point, or the only discussion for argument. I mean, he's definitely the greatest quarterback of all time. Is he the greatest NFL player of all time? Toma,
have you guys listened?
I even have to ask you that.
Yeah. What's up, man? You seem like you're real emotional about the whole thing.
You look a little choked up. I'm not gonna lie.
He's a boy from Michigan, Tom Brady. I don't think he's ever declined, like Teddy said. It just shows last night that even after missing 4 games this season, he was out on a mission, not go out not a Super Bowl winner.
Yeah,
he stuck it to Roger Goodell in the NFL last night, I think.
But
not even winning the regular season MVP. I think he should have. Just the numbers he put up in 12 games.
Hey, how about this? Wasn't it the last time Atlanta made it to the Super Bowl was 98? Isn't that right?
What did they lose to?
I can't remember exactly, but I'm almost positive it's 98. And I was thinking about this today that
the Dirty Bird.
Well, yeah. Well, if I grew up in Atlanta, I don't know if I would have made it after last night because I was a Falcons fan. Because think about this: 1998, who would have been 18 years old. You lived up until the point you thought where you're finally an adult, and you're watching them and thinking, oh my God, my team's finally going to do it. I've waited my whole life for this, and you're 18, and you think you've lived this long life and have it all figured out. And you're like, my team's finally going to win the Super Bowl. I'm so lucky. And then they lose. And then exactly 18 years later, now I'm like, I have it all figured out. I've lived life. I've had to watch the Falcons my whole life and watch them be bad and go through it all. And be up in that second half the way that they were, then lose. I don't know that I would be able to handle it. I can't imagine what they're feeling right now. 2 for me would have been lifetimes of watching them to lose. In the way they lost last night, it was just God. I don't know how. Like I said, I don't know how I'd do it if I was living in Atlanta, an Atlanta fan.
98, they lost to the Broncos.
Broncos, that's right. Yeah,
34-19.
When the Bears got to the Super Bowl the last time against the Colts, were you guys so devastated when they lost?
I was at the game, so I that's what I was drawing comparisons to, and I'm like, this has to be worse for them. Even though I was at the game, I never told you. Did I tell you the whole story, Seth? I don't know that I have.
Enlighten us.
Yeah, so I'm at the Super Bowl, Bears Colts. One of my buddies in Indianapolis gets us tickets because he's working for the Colts at the time. And actually, when I went down there, I didn't have a ticket. The fourth ticket was his, and it was like 3 other guys. And I figured if I could scalp one, I'd get into the game somehow. But
I thought you were gonna say you guys did like a 4-man wrestling tournament, an MMA style wrestling tournament, and then you won.
Last man standing. That's right. I do have a good story about how I got into the IU Purdue game on something similar to that. We'll go to that some other time, though. But we get there, and actually, as I was about to board the flight, he texts me and says, "Hey, I have a field pass. You can buy my ticket off me," because even though he was an employee, he still had to purchase his ticket, but it was at face value. So anyway, ended up buying the ticket and was able to go to the game. And the great part, we're at the Bears Super Bowl against the Colts, and greatest day of my life at that point, because I can't believe I'm witnessing this, but I'm sitting in the Colts section because he's a Colts employee, so I'm in the Colts family section, and like all the hours leading up to the game, he's like, you really can't cheer that much. I'm like, come on, dude. I'm like, relax. Like, they're going to understand that, and he's like, no, I'm being serious. He's like, you really can't cheer. Like, just try to cool it. And I'm like, is this like torture? Like, we at the Super Bowl, but can't cheer for my team. Well, if you guys remember, first play of the game, Devin Hester runs back.
Yeah.
And kickoff. I lose it. I lose my mind. I'm jumping up and down like a maniac. And all these people around me, if you can die from looks, I would have been dead 30 times at that moment. And they're like, so I'd like retreat back into my seat like a little kid who just got shamed. And I'm like, I'm sorry, like I didn't even know what to say. And it was me and my other buddy who was a Bears fan as well. And we're like jabbing each other with elbows, like celebrating for the rest of the game out as opposed to jumping up and down. But anyways, the crowd was
like, can't you be quiet? Can't you act like a devastated Atlanta Falcons fan?
Exactly. So anyway, so we did that, and we were there the whole game. And if you guys remember that game, it rained the entire game. So, Bears slowly slipped themselves out of the game. A couple, their defense wasn't as high, as strong as it had been through the entire season. Even though they did, I think they scored a defensive touchdown that game as well, and tried to keep them in it. It was bad, and by the end of the game, it was like one of the most depressing feelings I've ever had in my entire life. I was sitting there like soaking wet, just watched my team lose, like from the biggest high ever to the biggest low, and I still don't think I'm even close to what the Falcons feel like after yesterday, because that was horrendous. Because at least, and it would be the typical like Bears fan, at least I have 85 to fall back on still,
Exactly. We got one at least.
We got one. I remember that. It was one of my earliest memories, but I definitely remember it, and I'll hold on to that forever if I need to, but I remember it. So
yeah, I remember it. Barely. I remember having the Super Bowl shuffle record.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Awesome.
The poster.
The poster, yeah, the Blues Brothers poster. Remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah, had a headband, the white headband.
That's right.
Yeah. I had a Refrigerator Perry T-shirt, and it was like a full like size picture of the fridge on the front. My favorite T-shirt in the world. It was one of those like cool soft T-shirts, like I never wanted to take that thing off. My mom's always like, "Why don't you wear something else?" I'm like, "No, Mom."
What happened to that shirt?
Dude, I don't know. I'm so mad. Honestly, I have no clue what happened to it. But
Your mom knows.
If you guys remember, I was a fat little kid, so everybody called me the Fridge too. So that kind of became my nickname because of.
I'm gonna start calling you the Fridge. I like it, man, the Fridge.
Yeah, it was good. Yeah, but my grandfather, my dad hated it because he thought they were making fun of me. So
I did think two things were funny today. If you guys listen to the sports radio at all the hosts were talking about like absolutely Tom Brady's the best quarterback ever, blah blah blah. Every caller though that called in was like, it's open to interpretation. You know what? These guys, quarterback's not everything. It's a team effort. Like it was almost every caller that I heard this morning. Everybody that called all day long has been like, yeah, it's open to interpretation. So I thought that was crazy. And then the second thing, all the people, like everybody pretty much thought that the Patriots were going to win, but nobody thought that nobody expected they were going to win that way. But everybody that predicted these scores was like, oh yeah. I didn't freak out at the end of the first half. I wasn't freaking out during the third quarter.
I wasn't.
Like everybody's like, oh yeah, I predicted it. So,
I put on my Tom Brady jersey and then turned it around.
Apparently, you're the only one. I Tommy was texting today, and apparently Toma had the vibe of like, just chill, man.
Well, I was like, they should fire Daniels. Look, he's taking his time up there, like running these plays. I'm like, dude, it's Brady's running the offense. He's so patient.
Yeah.
He calms everyone down, and look, he wasn't. He showed patience the whole time. He wasn't nervous. Maybe he wasn't sidelined, but when he was out on the field, he showed like, no, we're gonna get this done, and which he did.
I'm not going to sit here. Yeah, I'm not going to sit here and say that I thought that he was going to come back, but I did think, well, if anybody can do it, he can. There's a lot of time.
Yeah.
I never thought like he's going to do this right now. I definitely did not say that. I'm like, wow, these guys are getting worked, and then I just thought, but I did think to myself, if anybody can do it, he's the one that can do it.
I was actually like, man, what was it, 21-3 at halftime?
Yeah.
At 8 o'clock, I was like, I'm going to go up to bed, lay in bed, watch this game. And if I, fall asleep, if it's a blowout, but then, they started turning around, so I stayed up.
Yeah.
I was tired from coming back from Arizona. I was like, I got to try to stay up, watch this. So lucky I stayed up.
Yeah, it ended up being awesome.
It was a great game.
What do you guys think about the overtime rules? What's your thoughts on the fairest way to? Do you think both teams in overtime should get a chance to touch the ball? You think the coin flip thing is fair?
I think even if the first team scored like they did last night, they should be allowed to kick off to Atlanta and see what they do.
I agree.
I don't think it should start like the 35 like college. Just, normal kickoff since it's pros and give them a chance.
Yeah,
I agree.
Yeah, that's hard that there's like it's almost pretty much becomes a sudden death at that point, but there's extra layers involved with it, which helps it. But last night was that rare occasion where somebody just marches down the field and scores a touchdown and you kind of feel like deflated. Like we had him to wait, that wasn't the way it was supposed to happen, So
back in the day, it was a field goal and you won the game. So
right
now it's a field goal, you get the kickoff. I think it should be the same with the touchdown.
Yep,
I agree. What else about the game got you?
Lady Gaga.
Yeah,
it was.
That's pretty cool.
It actually was. It was more.
I didn't like it.
It was more tame or more tasteful than I thought it would be. Because normally, they're always trying to do something to make people, make conservative people really uncomfortable.
And the drones
whipping out boobs.
Yeah, exactly. They're always trying to do something to make
her
people
jumping
really.
in the drones were pre-taped.
Yeah, so I mean, I don't know. It was okay.
I did think it was funny when she she got done singing and then leaped into the air, caught that ball, and just jumped off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's good.
For some reason, that was funny to me.
They could have picked a better performer. I don't know. I just wasn't feeling it.
Oh, yeah, I agree. I mean, I think of all the people that are out there in this world.
Yeah.
Lady Gaga.
How dare you guys?
Who was it? I read something that was it Roseanne that didn't even know who Lady Gaga was. But
What?
She's a liar.
yeah, but a lot of people don't even know who Roseanne is anymore. But
Exactly.
Yeah, we're getting Roseanne as a guest next week. So
I'm just kidding. Roseanne, please still come on our show. Oh yeah, what I was gonna say. My 7-year-old daughter said Patriots 38, Falcons 23. Not bad.
not bad.
Wasn't bad at all.
I said
Toma had like 28-31 or something.
no. I had 37-31, and I switched it to 34-31.
Oh, is that right? I
Because-
thought it went the other way. Yeah, you were really close.
Because Vegas had the spread at 3, so I was like, all right, I'll pick 3. Milo had 28-21.
Yeah, that's right.
I liked my daughter's thought process behind it. I asked her, I'm like, Tally, what's the score going to be tonight? And she's like, she had questions. She just didn't throw a score out there. She's like, Dad, who's been the better team? I'm like, well, Falcons have been really good this year, but in history, the Patriots have been a good team for a long time. She's like, okay, we're going to go with the Patriots then.
Dad, are either one of the teams covered in controversy of any kind?
Exactly. And then she goes, and then she didn't just stop there. She's like, so what was the score of the last few Super Bowls? What do you mean? Yeah. And she's like, what do they score? How many points do they normally score? And I'm like, 30s, 40, somewhere just like, okay. And then she finally made her pick. So
What are the Vegas odds, Dad?
Exactly. She's like, what's the over-under? And yeah, so it was good.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah.
Did she watch it with you?
She watched first half with me. So yeah, but yeah, we it was a good game. We bet each of the quarters final score, like, so if it was 14-10, 4 was the number. But then instead of just doing it that way, because like people with 4 and 0 and with the odd numbers never get a chance to win, we added 1 for each of the quarters. So if it was 14-10, we added 1. If it was 14-10 at the end of the second, we added 2. 14-10 at the end of the third, we added 3. So just kept doing that. Or
Getting some big bucks.
no, I put in 40 and I ended up winning the fourth quarter of $50. So I won $10.
Nice.
Yeah.
Where did you guys watch the game?
Watched by aunt's house. How about you, Svet?
I stayed home.
Yeah.
I did the boring thing, man. I watched it with my mommy.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, she was cussing and going nuts.
Probably made you kolache though, dude.
Throwing stuff at the team.
Right.
I can't believe what the Falcons have done. They've disgraced Atlanta. Or my mom calls it Hotlanta. So
You're right. And
she's Hotlanta's never going to be the same.
She's like, come on, rise up.
She's a big.
She kept saying it.
She's a big fan because she had a connecting flight there once, right?
Yeah, that's right. She had a Quiznos sub in the airport once, and she was like Atlanta all the way.
And she came to America.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's great. Tell me you're in Arizona.
I flew back. I flew in about 4, so I just made it home about 5, just right before kickoff. 5:30. So
Okay.
I purposely picked the earlier flight so I could be back to watch the Super Bowl.
Nice.
I didn't want to miss it.
Very cool.
I mean, what else? Game.
1 out of 3 went to Super Bowl party.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Do you guys feel like Super Bowl parties just aren't a thing anymore?
I mean,
as
you
much
went
as
to
they
one.
used to be. I mean, I know, but I'm just saying, like, it wasn't. Is it
I
just
think we
because
just
we're
need
getting
to
older?
we need to make new friends. No, man.
Okay.
I think our friends are just are
Lame.
lame.
I agree.
So, yeah.
I probably would have
Lame
went.
or stingy. They don't want people messing up their wood flooring or carpeting. They're stingy.
Right.
I probably would have went to one, but like with me traveling, I'm just gonna come home and watch it. Plus, I didn't see my daughter in like 4 days, so
Yeah.
that's gonna see her.
I didn't have an excuse. You guys have good excuses, good reasons. I just I was napping all day yesterday like a big lazy whatever. I'm trying not to swear. Did you guys watch a lot of college ball this weekend?
I did watch a decent amount. I was watching. I watched the Baylor game. I didn't watch Purdue, and I was kind of flipping through some of those games that
We don't watch Purdue for that.
no, we don't watch Purdue. It doesn't happen. I'd rather watch IU lose and get worked
Yeah.
by Wisconsin than watch a really good Purdue game.
I was getting we were all I keep forgetting that any text sports related that I get from Tommy that you guys get too. So
Yeah.
he was lighting it up with
We get 10 times more.
and
Yeah.
Oh, you get more.
Yeah, there's side ones that he keeps going to that when we aren't answering enough on the group one, he'll get it going on the side because he really wants people to talk about it.
I think I turned him off to it because he's like, "Hey, did you see so and so do what this that?" And I was like, "Hey, man, anybody got a good recipe for like burritos? Like I can't engage him." And then he probably just gets real irritated.
Yeah. Well, there was a ton of upsets, though, in college basketball this week. It was, how many of the top 10?
6 out of the top 10.
Wow.
But the new rankings came out, Zaga still won. Nova went to 2. Kansas only dropped 1 from losing, 2-3.
Oh, okay.
4, I don't know, 4 Louisville, and they just lost tonight, I think.
Did they really?
Virginia. But Patino benched 2 starters, I think.
Did he
It's
really?
a curfew Saturday night, so they got work tonight at Virginia.
Wow.
Why they got punished for studying late? That's garbage.
Yeah. Too much partying on campus.
Exactly.
But what else are you going to want them to do? They're college kids.
Right.
That's true.
I think their curfew's like 10.
Well, that's nonsense.
Yeah.
Wisconsin kind of benefited.
They jumped to 5? Right? Or
5 in one poll and 7 in the other, I think. Yeah. So beating IU, I guess, was a big deal.
Well, they're 20-3, won 7 in a row.
Yeah, they are.
So they'll probably them or Purdue will win the Big Ten.
Yeah. How about
What do you guys think about that Crown Point Serbian kid going to Purdue? Your favorite place, guys.
That's Toma.
Any
Toma,
heartbreak involved?
St. Eli's.
St. Eli's. It's St. Eli's kid going there.
Good for him. When I was reading in the paper that he had 24 offers out there.
Yeah, Sasha Stefanovic is who we're talking
What
about.
off schools? I don't know how much playing time he's going to get at Purdue. I don't know much about his. I've never seen him play, so I've read about him online here and there, but unfortunately, I never got a chance to see him.
I've watched him play a couple times. He's a nice player. He could shoot the ball well.
time will tell, I think, whether or not. I mean, you have a hard time.
Right?
Yeah, you have a hard time to passing up going to a Big Ten school, D1. That to play basketball, I think that's a great experience no matter what you do. But the question, I think, is would he be would he come into somewhere like Evansville or where else was it, Dayton, and maybe get some. I can forget the schools that he was looking at.
Yeah, some mid-major, maybe.
Mid-major, yeah. Get PT as a freshman, where he's going to be fighting for time, to even by his sophomore, junior year, probably still to get in at Purdue. So everybody's different. And like I said, it's hard to pass up that opportunity to play there, and time will tell. I wish him all the best. He's a solid player, but it had to be a tough decision. And I don't know, given the same chance, I don't know. It'd be hard to say no to a big school, if you have the chance
especially
to play there.
Big Ten, and
close to home.
His father went to Illinois State, and I'm not sure. Maybe his mom went to Purdue. I'm not sure.
Yeah,
but it's close to home. So and plus, Purdue's a big Big Ten.
Exactly.
You can't go wrong getting if you got a full ride. That's even great.
Exactly.
I'm not sure what the
Education.
whole thing is.
Yeah,
you're doing everything in your power, Toma, to avoid complimenting or saying that Purdue's a good basketball team.
Pretty much.
Number 16, Purdue.
I'd rather see him come to red and white, but we all know Tom Crean don't recruit north in the state.
Oh, he recruited his teammate.
He did?
Yeah, Grant Galon is his teammate from last year. He's at IU this year.
Oh, you ain't got to see no playing time.
No, he doesn't. He's the same. He hasn't come close to seeing any playing time. But same thing, good shooter. Had some other mid-major D1 offers. IU offered him, for the story is, I guess, Crean went to an AAU game where he just went off, hit a bunch of threes, and pretty much based on a game or two he saw him in AAU, ended up offering him a spot. So, but yeah, like I said, I wish them both the best. I wouldn't have changed going to IU. If I could have played basketball at IU.
I wouldn't mind sitting the pine. I mean, obviously,
exactly.
But
right.
If IU's knocking on your door and say, "Hey, you might not get any playing time, but be on the team," sure.
Yep.
Still got that status of being on the team.
Exactly.
Walk around campus and do whatever you want.
Yeah, Butler 22, Purdue 16, Notre Dame almost.
They're out now.
They're out now, yeah, but
Northwestern's out now.
Who'd Northwestern lose to?
Purdue. At Purdue they lost.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's right. Oh, yeah, they got killed.
Yeah, it worked. I think.
Yeah. So.
Speaking of Purdue IU this Thursday.
Yeah.
Purdue's at IU. I'm not looking forward to watching that.
Yeah, neither am I. But
Teddy, you want to go watch it somewhere? We're going to Tommy's house.
Yeah, we could do that.
I'm jealous.
Invite ourselves.
That's right. The tournament should be interesting this year. The Big Ten's kind of weak. I don't know. It started off.
It is. That's why Wisconsin at 20-3 is only ranked 7th.
Exactly.
Back in the day, a good Big Ten school would be ranked top 5 with that.
Oh, for sure. Yep.
Would they lose only one in the Big Ten? I'm not even sure.
I'm not sure. Yeah, the Big Ten record right now.
I think the tournament should be nice and wild, but it's pretty wild every year.
Joe and Artie had IU in the last 4 in the playoff.
Really?
Game, so I think they're going to be on the bubble come tournament time.
Yeah, they
got 5 more games on the road, I think, in the last 7 in the Big Ten.
Their schedule is definitely not. I mean, they're going to have to win a game or two probably in the tournament, in the Big Ten tournament as well, too.
Yeah, Purdue Thursday at home, then Michigan at home on Sunday. And they lost to Michigan by 30 a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, that was bad.
Yeah, so they can't lose both these games this week.
Yep. And then they have I got Northwestern at home.
We should just make this the IU show.
I think it's gonna be like that occasionally.
Yeah.
Until we get some Purdue folk on.
Right.
Yeah, I don't mind what we talk about. It's fine. So back to the Super Bowl, man. Any other players? Yeah. I sent a text out to you guys about former Bears players, and I guess there were only 2. For some reason, I thought there were more guys that played for the Bears within the last 5 years.
Was it Shea or something?
It was Martellus Bennett.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And who else?
I can't remember.
Did my house say Shea? Was it some Shea dude? I don't even know.
He said Shea. That's not Shea McClellan, is it?
I don't know.
Yeah. So
that's a good question.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm trying to look it up, but I'm not really sure.
But I just keep wondering whether or not at certain points the Bears. I mean, the Bears right now have their problems, but has it been in the past like a purely? We did defending Jay Cutler, but I still think that coaching was just bad, and I don't know. What do you guys think of John Fox
He's not the
so
answer.
far?
He's not the answer.
No,
Yeah,
he's not.
that's better. But
Right. There's
Do you think it'll
I
just
think I
take
trust
like,
him.
repeated? Do you think it'll just take like a handful of years of good drafting? Is that really the only thing that's gonna?
I think that it's going to take. I think if there's one thing I'm learning in professional sports over the past few years is that you're going to need a really good GM, really strong people at the top that know what they're doing and they're making the right moves. And I don't know that we have that right now. You look at there's a baseball team in Chicago that did pretty good this year.
You can't say the name, right?
No, they really strong management up top. You look at the Patriots. You look at
New owners that made it happen.
Exactly. I mean, so just that I think that's so huge, and I don't know that the Bears have this same family that's been around forever and not necessarily always recruiting the best talent at the top, and it trickles down and it comes all the way down to
That's right.
you get a little bit above average managers, you get a little bit above average coaches, you get a little bit above average quarterbacks, and it goes all the way down. And I think that's been probably the bigger problem for the Bears. And now I think that we're seeing the same thing with like the Bulls and
It all starts with the owners.
it does, yeah. So it's
The Bears had the same. They won their last one in '85. Nothing.
Yeah.
Didn't care less.
Yep.
Brian Zorf had Jordan with the best ever.
Exactly.
Won the 6 titles, and I was like, I made enough money.
Yeah.
I got this. Probably with your Sox team too, Teddy. Like,
Oh yeah.
it just bad management, and there you go.
Yeah, I agree. No, and they got one out of them, and
Yep.
so it's almost like you need to. They always say they need to start over and clean house, and they end up, taking it out on the players and the coaches and everybody else. But I think that it's from the top down, and that's probably
Yeah, the Bulls just need a reboot.
Yep.
Big time.
Yeah, no doubt.
Reboot the Bears, reboot the Bulls, reboot IU.
Now
Yeah,
with the reboot of IU, it's about time.
yeah. There's
How old's Bobby Knight now? 76, 75?
maybe older.
Bring him back.
Man, haven't seen him in so long.
I know.
Anything on
Has he been
TV?
doing any announcing?
Nothing.
No,
Did he have a little health issue like last
He's just fishing.
summer or something?
he's just fishing, bro. That's it. That's all he wants to do.
I listened to his one of his autobiographies 2 summers ago. Man, he makes himself sound so reasonable.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's awesome. You listen to the whole thing, you're like, you know what? I see it from his side. He's an
Right.
okay guy. And then you watch the army of clips from ESPN on YouTube of him just
He's 76 years old.
76.
Yeah.
76. All right.
Robert Montgomery Knight.
Too bad we'll never name the court that.
I know. I wish they would.
Yeah, but he'll never come back.
No, got to get Cuban to donate a bunch of money to make it
Right.
happen. Yeah.
So what's now? What happens now, guys? Post the NFL football season, all the sports channels, all the sports shows are all going to be
Waiting
really
for the
struggling for what to talk about. This is always the
big topic.
rough time.
Yeah. Well, now it's
I mean,
the
it gets-
lull. The NBA is getting closer to playoffs, but they won't start
Right.
talking that until like April.
Yeah.
right.
Baseball is coming up, but that's such a long season.
This is where college basketball comes. 2 weeks.
Yeah.
We have about 2 week lull here, and then college basketball gets interesting
Exactly.
with the conference tournaments and
The last 2 weeks of the conference play and
yeah,
conference tournaments.
and then March starts the greatest
Do you guys
sports month.
Yeah.
do you guys have any rituals every year during the tournament? Is there something that you like to do every year? Is there do you take the day off during the first games? Do you
Don't shower.
don't shower?
Don't, just order pizza.
Nice.
Yeah,
I usually take off.
I usually do try to take a day. Like if I use in it, I usually try to take a day off when they're playing. But yeah, Thursday, Friday is always nice to try to take off if you can. When I was younger, I used to definitely make it more of a priority, but I still try to take one of those days off and then watch games all day, fill out the brackets. I have a little thing going on with my brothers and cousins and a couple other people that we've filled those out for years and put a couple bucks on it, but more just for bragging rights than anything. My dad actually used to let me stay home from high school when IU would be playing in the tournament.
if they were playing during the day on a Thursday or Friday. So so it's kind of I'd say that's definitely one of the traditions is planning around IU schedule and filling out the brackets. Probably the two big ones.
A couple of years ago, I called off Thursday, Friday. I actually went to bars all day. That's kind of rough.
Yeah,
Trying to make it all day, but it's fun.
it is fun.
But I'd rather watch it at home.
Yeah, especially now the tournament's done so well on TV because you could be at home and just
I get the
flip back and
laptop,
forth.
iPad,
Exactly. Yeah, it's beautiful. Yeah, when it was back in the day, you had like CBS was the only station that was playing it. Yeah, one channel. So you had to go to a bar if you wanted to watch more than one, and then you're kind of waiting around for them to cut to the next game and hoping that you're not going to miss your team playing. So it was. But usually they would cut to like IU or whoever was closest to the region. But yeah,
it's caveman days of the tournament.
Yeah, exactly. We're like, we used to have to write our brackets out on paper.
Best was college study. We just sitting there, wouldn't go to class that day. We just sit in our apartment.
Exactly. Sit around all day. Yeah.
Smelling like old pizza and sitting next to old pizza. It's also smelling
Pizza
like
Express, Big Ten pizzas.
Exactly.
You guys never ordered Papa John's though, I bet.
Maybe.
Papa John's is terrible.
Maybe.
I'll tell you when I did last year after the Super Bowl. After I saw Peyton Manning take a stand for Papa John's.
He got you, huh?
He got me. That's right. I get it.
Garlic sauce.
I'd love that pizza with like a pound of sugar in the sauce. That would taste good right now.
Yeah. You're not an Aurelio's
fan? Broncos
fan?
are out of business, bro.
Are you not an Aurelio's fan?
No, I like Aurelio's. They don't put as much sugar as Papa John's.
Really? Their sauce is really sweet.
Nah. Disagree to disagree.
What's your guys' go-to pizza now, since there's no more Broncos?
I
actually do dig on Aurelio's. They got a pesto pizza that doesn't have tomato sauce on it. It's pretty badass.
I do like Aurelio's. I never had the pesto pizza.
Pesto, mushrooms, garlic. I don't know what else.
If I go to now and here in this area, man, that's tough.
I go to Rosati's too.
Rosati's, yeah. Langle's is pretty good.
I'm not picky about the pizza as long as it's not Papa John's.
It's true.
Good. I don't dig on Little Caesars either. It's a little rough.
Yeah, I mean for something cheap, $5 though.
Yeah, you can't beat a $5 pizza.
Yeah.
Right. I have to get like a bunch of
Papa Murphy's a few weeks ago for the first time.
Papa Murphy's? Nah.
No. For the first time ever. Tore up my stomach.
I don't have to work for my own pizza.
Right?
So this starts our new segment, Diarrhea Talk.
That was, felt that.
So, another quick thing about the Super Bowl. Brady did say he's probably going to give his truck to James White.
Oh, yeah?
He thinks he deserved the MVP. He came out big with 3 touchdowns in that game.
Yeah. How about that catch, though, by
Edelman?
Yeah, Edelman. That was crazy.
That was.
Yeah.
Keep your eye on the ball like that.
Oh, my God.
That was like that one play with the Giants when they beat the Patriots a few years ago.
It was funny. As soon as he caught that, I go, man, it's just like the Giants play with the helmet. Yeah. And 2 seconds later, they showed it on the game.
What was his name? Tyree? What was it?
David Tyree, right?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
Those catches are more impressive now when they film it and then they replay it, and you see in slow motion something that happened, in a split second.
Oh yeah.
It just seems way more dramatic. Like if you say I throw a football to one of you guys and you just catch it, but it's like this cool catch. Yeah, big deal. It just happened over the shoulder, behind the back, some craziness, whatever. But then if I filmed you with a 1080p camera and slowed it down and we replayed that catch in slow motion and we saw you leap in the air dramatically over a pebble and slide on the top of that grass. Hold your arms out. You're like, oh my God.
Right.
That's one of the awesome things about high def. Yeah. So that catch it's cool when they show those catches. It's everything's just way more impressive.
Julio Jones made some nice catches too, man. To keep his feet in bounds.
Oh my God. That one on the sideline. That was crazy. I will say that about Brady and Belichick yesterday. They were very complimentary of Falcons. They've done this 5 times now, so they know how to win with class and
they've played at their footballs.
Exactly, and that's what happened at halftime. Everybody knows it, but big deal. I honestly don't think I know this sounds stupid. Maybe I'm everybody's like, well, not a purist at heart, but like, who cares if they even deflated their football? It's still football. Care. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I like to shoot with a deflated basketball, or I don't know, if I like my bat to be worn down a little bit, I don't know. It's still football. It's not like they used a kid's football or something. They were using the regulation football. I just had a little bit less air in it. So when people have that argument about it, I'm not real keen to jump in on that and be like, yeah, they're cheaters. Who cares? A little bit less air.
6 other people in my office today were upset that the Falcons lost, and I was all happy. And my boss wanted to walk me out right away because they're all Packers fans, So they hate on me anyways because I'm a Bears fan. So
you should have come in with a big old Bears flag today.
Should have.
Packers fans are the worst.
Yep.
You know what? Packers fans from Wisconsin really aren't that bad. Packers fans from Chicago and Northwest Indiana are the absolute worst.
Agreed. You know what they remind me of? They remind me of those people. Say you go. So I go to Cubs games and I go to Sox games. If the Sox got to the World Series, I would root for the Sox. If the Cubs went to the World Series like they did, I'd root for the Cubs. But I am a Cubs fan. I understand the rivalry. I understand all that stuff. Packers fans are like those dudes that go to Sox games wearing Cubs jerseys, and like the Sox fans that go to Cubs games wearing Sox jerseys.
It's like Teddy.
Why do you do that? Why don't you just wear like a Pokemon shirt or something? You don't have to wear that other thing. I feel like that's how Packers fans are from Wisconsin.
Teddy went out to celebrate Game 7 with Milo and Bato.
Okay.
He was wearing black shirt.
It was just a black shirt. It didn't say Sox on it.
Socks.
It was just a black shirt. It was just a black shirt.
It was a Sox jersey turned inside out.
I will say watching that with a bunch of Cubs fans was really interesting because not having any emotional real tie to it, it was really like intriguing to watch everybody around me like be that emotional about it. You know what I'm saying? And like not because normally if I'm out for a game like that, I'm with everybody, like feeling that and like going crazy. And it was just cool to be able to kind of sit back and be like, wow, I'm witnessing history in a sense here, but I'm like, what? I'm witnessing all these people's like crazy emotions around me. There was this guy was like in his 70s, almost in tears, like as they were blowing the lead. He's, oh my God. He's like, it's happening. He's screaming in the table next to us. And like, I wasn't laughing, but like I was just sitting there like, wow, this is crazy. Like I was thinking to myself, if I was a fan, I'd be going nuts right now, but they pulled it out. So
instead of Teddy's lying, I saw the Snapchat. He was jumping up and down, high-fiving people.
I threw a couple high fives. I did. I mean, what do you want me to sit there and be like, whatever?
Go Sox.
Yeah, that's it. That's a Packers fan from Northwest Indiana. That's what they do.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But when the Sox won, I hated it. I think I was on Teddy's speed dial that night.
Yeah, you were.
I was living in Arizona then. I was like, dang it.
Yeah. I think you were the first person that called, weren't you?
Yeah, I was. And guess what? When the Cubs won, you were
the first person. Exactly. Yeah, you returned the favor for sure. That was good stuff.
Good stuff for the city, though.
Yeah, it was.
Like I said, I'm happy now as a Cubs fan. If they never win it again, I'll probably be dead.
Right. Exactly.
Another 108 years.
Yeah.
I have confidence they'll be good this year again. So.
The only I was able to experience it, but I actually remember the Bears winning the Super Bowl more than I remember IU winning the championship in '87, which is weird. You know what I'm saying? Like I remember IU winning the championship, remember Key Smart shot, but I don't remember like that much around it like I did like the Bears. And maybe it's
the fridge running it in.
Yeah. What's that?
You came from like your family's pretty diehard, like your pops, like everybody around you is pretty like heavy with the IU fandom, right?
Yeah. Yeah. So I remember that.
It would be reasonable for you guys to like be watching the game and.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I remember watching it and things like that. I just don't remember like, I remember like, celebrating, but like I wasn't, and my dad was a fan, but like as a kid at 7, I wasn't as big as like an IU basketball. You know what I'm saying? Like the older I got.
Physically you were big, but not a fan.
Right. Because I was thinking more towards football. I was the fridge size at that time, so I wasn't really thinking basketball that much at that point. So,
Right.
no. So yeah, I remember them winning, and I remember it was really cool, and but I think that was like what started my kind of love for basketball a little bit was like watching tournaments around that time, like when they won. But I feel like I still need another IU championship before. I really was able to experience, the Bears '85 thing. As long as you're alive, I was really obviously able to experience the Bulls thing. That was amazing, and be able to be a kid and grow up and watch that and be a part of that run as a kid was one of the coolest things. Got to watch the White Sox, Blackhawks. Obviously, not the huge hockey fan, but they've done great. So I feel like IU's the only one I need. Really need that one.
We almost had it in 2001. So you might not know this about me. I couldn't stand IU.
Yeah.
Growing up as a kid.
Yeah.
I became a Michigan fan in '87, '88. I didn't start liking IU till with the IU Northwest, '97, '98 year.
Yeah.
I couldn't stand Bobby Knight until I liked Purdue better back then. Hard to admit it, but I did.
Well, that goes with the whole thing about people that spend time in Bloomington. They get indoctrinated,
Yeah,
get brainwashed. They make you wear red all the time, which is like, how bulls get crazy when they stare at red. It's the same thing, but it's like on a mental level where you just get sucked in. That craziness locks you in, and you're like, I love it, IU for life.
Yep.
I had more respect for Bobby Knight after that first year I was down there getting season tickets, and then senior night, his speech. He was such a nice guy to me, and obviously I had to go choke somebody, but he kicked out of school. That's another story. 2001, our hearts were broken. We never expected to be there, but damn, I can't believe we made it.
I know. That was so cool. That was one of the.
If they would have won it, that would have been even more crazy.
Yep, definitely my favorite experience as a sports fan. Yeah. Was that run? No doubt about it.
Everyone together, even old alumni. It was just even Purdue people came down. Still never see that.
But, right.
Anybody that gets a chance to, if you have the time, there's a couple of people that post full games, full old NCAA college finals and the game in 2001. They're all on YouTube. You could actually press play, put it on the big thing. You don't have to watch the commercials. You watch the old IU championships. I've done it a few times. It's kind of awesome to listen to the announcers, watch the guys play. Watch what Bobby Knight looked like back then. It's actually a really cool thing. I would recommend it to anybody. Yeah.
That's cool.
And really, if you're a fan of any other basketball team, but because IU has those championships, and because I'm from Indiana, even though, I'm not an IU fan, but it's still cool to see a team from my state, win championships. So
I just saw this thing. Tom Brady would probably have 9 Super Bowl rings right now if Archie and Olivia Manning never met. It's very true.
He might have gotten that Papa John's contract too.
Yep, he might have.
Man,
which
the world we could have been living in.
Yep, that may be what made him the best NFL player of all time. Would be the Papa John's contract.
You think he's more pissed? You think he's less pissed about getting suspended at the beginning of the year for 4 games, and more pissed about not that torch, that NFL player torch not being handed from Manning to Brady as far as the owner of Papa John is concerned? He was like, bro, we're not going to put you in any of these commercials. Sorry.
Yeah, probably. I think it was probably that.
He was like, man, I'll go ahead and win another Super Bowl ring.
Yep. I
Brady's
guess
probably the cover boy of Rolex. We just don't know.
Right.
Who's going to give Manning a high contract for? Well, he does all my other commercials like DirecTV. Is it or no?
Yeah. Who?
Manning or no?
Manning does Nationwide.
He can't do elegance commercials because his head is shaped like a peanut.
He does the Nationwide ones.
That's right.
Yeah. I guess then going back to kind of one of the original things we talked about here tonight, if Tom Brady isn't the best NFL player of all time, who is?
Boy, that's a tough one. I mean, there's no better quarterback than him.
Right. Yeah.
So then you got to go with, would it be a running back?
Yeah.
Or a defensive player?
That's a hard question, just because in football those positions are so different from each other, how could you say that one guy's better than another guy at a totally different thing?
I guess, yeah, but I guess what I'm saying is who is the all-time MVP? Who's the all-time most valuable player to their team ever in the NFL? Dick Butkus?
I mean, for best name, yeah.
If you have to have championships behind it, right?
Yeah. Brady's 5 out of 7.
Right. Yeah, I mean, you can't that many championships that many Super Bowls, as successful as he was, the way he's done it, the like dramatic fashion that he did it in, is I don't know who else you can even try to compare to that.
Can I take it in a totally different direction?
You sure
we're not
can.
thinking of any names.
Yeah.
Who names some of the best players that never won a Super Bowl?
Dan Marino is top.
Yeah.
Top.
Dan Marino is always listed as the top guy that never won a Super Bowl. But
Barry Sanders.
I was going to say Barry Sanders. I just couldn't think of his name.
Jay Cutler.
Jay Cutler, good answer.
How about any of those guys in the Bills for 4 straight years?
That's exactly what I was going to say.
Jim Kelly.
Thurman Thomas.
Thurman Thomas.
Yeah.
All those dudes. My brother, that's how he learned for some weird reason, and we all latch on to different teams when we're kids. For most of the time, it's based on whoever our parents were into. But, like, our folks didn't really watch sports. And for some reason, our brother, like, we latched on to the Cubs, and he latched on to the Bills for no reason. And when he was forming all his biggest,
his heart was broken forever.
Oh, man, 4 years in a row. He's, like, sitting as a little kid in that Bills jacket. Got a Bills starter jacket. Just sitting in front of the TV, heartbroken.
That Bills starter pullover?
Yeah.
That's great.
Poor kid. Now he's a diehard Bears fan.
Dan Marino for sure. Then you figure the Bills, the whole team of the Bills.
Right.
The whole team.
When you lose 4 in a row, man.
How about instead of taking
Urlacher?
Strictly?
No, I know.
Yeah, no.
Only because he's a hometown guy.
How many did Joe Montana win?
4, I think.
4, was it?
4.
I mean, he was great. I mean, he also had a lot of really, really, really good players around him. Yeah. Yeah. One of the best wide receivers of all time. He had a killer running back. So,
what would you say if I expanded it to the best players that just didn't want to win a championship in any sport? Like some perpetually heartbroken dude.
I mean, NBA. Charles Barkley.
Yeah. Yep. Karl Malone.
Yep. Those 2 years, they just ran into the Bulls. Otherwise, they probably would have won it.
Yep. Patrick Ewing.
Do you guys feel bad for Patrick Ewing? Yeah.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
He was a Knicks, but still, I felt bad.
Yeah. You know, those dudes like that.
Darko Milicic.
Right. Poor guy. Did you guys see that video of
Vlade? I felt bad for Vlade.
I felt bad for him
because the Kings, that
they
team was
deserved
just
it. Yeah, that team was so good. That might have been one of the most exciting teams that's never won it. Like, you know, one of the most fun teams to watch. It didn't.
They're like the Warriors, what they are now.
Yeah, but the Warriors pulled one out. So,
what are you guys going to get into now that the football season's done? I already asked that, but what's
college
so a couple weeks?
Yeah, it's college
hoops.
Yep, seasons are kind of winding down. Conference seasons winding down. Conference tournaments will start.
When's the next tennis tournament?
April or May is not the French Open, I think. It's a while. So now they're all these little ATP tournaments.
Golf tournaments?
Speaking of golf, I was in Scottsdale, Arizona, and Friday I went to watch the Waste Management, well, if you call it watching Waste Management Open.
You went?
TBC. Went there for like 4 or 5 hours in the morning. It was packed.
Did you see Zach at all out there?
No, I didn't have time. I went with my brother and my old roommate Dan on Friday. But Teddy, if you ever want to go to a golfing event, you think golf is boring, that's the one.
Yeah.
The party nonstop.
That's
like in the center of the you know, in the middle of the course, they just got like huge bars. You just go there and drink.
That's awesome.
So, and Saturdays, they have like over close to 500,000 people at this golfing event.
Wow.
That's how crazy it is. Wow. This past Saturday, they had on the 18th hole, 250,000 people just watching the 18th hole.
That was in Scottsdale, right?
Yeah. It's a good time. I mean, golf, Teddy? Any thoughts on golf?
I don't watch a lot of golf at this point. Yeah. Playing a little bit more, but not watching.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And we still the hockey season is still going. Blackhawks are playing pretty well. We don't seem to care. So we'll move on.
Yeah.
Tennis.
Any final thoughts? I think we could wind it down.
Baseball.
Baseball?
No, I think one of the things that one of my final thoughts is the quality of championship games this past year, or championship series and games throughout all of sports has been amazing. You know, from the NFL to MLB seasons, from basketball last season with the Cavs being down 3-1, Villanova hitting a game-winning shot to win the NCAA championship. So, like, this next year of championship games has a lot to live up to because there's been so much fun, like so many dramatic games and so many comebacks and so many. I don't remember a series of professional and like big-time college or big-time sporting events having so many great championship games. And so it's been fun. It's been fun to be a fan and watch. I wish it was more of our teams, but at least if it's not your team, you have, it's exciting to watch and something.
Well, one of those was my team.
Yeah, whatever.
Now, Teddy made a great point on the final thought here. Who would you give the best championship performance to? That's going to be tough.
Yeah, that is.
From Cleveland, Cubs, not winning in 108 years, Nova on that shot, and then now this yesterday, the comeback. That's the question. It's like, I don't even know who. Me as a Cubs fan, I would give it to the Cubs fan because it's been 108 years.
You almost have to. Even I hate saying it,
exactly.
But you almost have to give it to the Cubs because they were down 3-1, haven't won in 108 years, came back and won the World Series in 7. I mean, that's.
And if they weren't down 3-1, and let's say whatever it was,
right,
2-2, 3-2, whatever, they came back 3-2, I'd give it maybe to Cleveland because they were down 3-1.
Yeah.
No one's ever done that either.
Yep. I don't know. Because Cleveland hasn't had a championship in anything for so long as well, too. Exactly. So you could easily go to that. But then you could also say that what just happened last night was the guy just won his 5th, came back from 20. They're all
great.
Yeah, they really are. Good time to be a sports fan.
Good final thoughts.
Definitely looking forward to the rest of the college hoop season now. It's going to be
for sure.
Like right now, Kansas is up by 4 with a minute left. So we'll see what happens.
Nice.
Good. Well, I guess we'll end it there. If anybody listens, call in on the voicemail and leave a message. Let's fight about stuff. Thanks for staying up, guys.
All right.
Talk to you guys later.
Take it easy.
Three draft picks.